Welcome to Food Fights, and today we're going to be trying these two brands of grated cheese. On the left, weighing in at 8 ounces, is Kraft Grated Parmesan and Romano cheese. And on the right, also weighing in at 8 ounces, is Reggano cheese, Aldi's brand of Parmesan and Romano cheese. This is going to be interesting. I almost always buy the Kraft Parmesan and Romano. I like it a lot better than regular Parmesan. When I saw Aldi's had Parmesan and Romano, I had to try it because I figured there can't be much of a difference between the two, but the Aldi's brand is much cheaper. So for the Kraft, I paid $3.48 for this 8-ounce container, and that works out to 44 cents an ounce. For the Aldi's Reggano brand, I paid $2.29 also for this 8-ounce package, and that works out to 28 cents an ounce. So obviously the better value is the Aldi's brand, but that's only if it's as good or even better than the Kraft brand. So that's what we're here to find out, to see if one of these is any better than the other. And looking at the packaging, it's very similar, the same kind of plastic lid, the same shrink wrap on the package, and everything looks identical. The ridges on the canisters, everything is the same. So much so that I'd almost have to say that these are both packaged in the same factory. And if that's the case, I can't say there being any difference between the two, except for maybe the ratios of Parmesan to Romano in the cheese. I believe Romano is more expensive, so that could make a difference there. One may have more Romano than the other. I don't know. So let's look at the ingredients and see if there is a difference between the two. Parmesan cheese is the main ingredient, and Romano is the second ingredient. So let's look at the Aldi's brand and see what's in that. And the Aldi's also has Parmesan as the first ingredient, and Romano cheese as the second. And everything else is pretty much the same. So taste-wise, hopefully there's going to be no difference between the two, and I might find a better one at a better value. So let's find out. And let's have a look at these and see if there's any difference. And really, I'm not seeing any difference at all, except for maybe the Kraft has more clumps in there. And the Aldi seems to be a bit more unclumpy, shall we say. But I see a few clumps in there. But that's really the only difference. The color and the grade, it looks exactly the same. So I'm going to smell each one of these and see if I can tell a difference in how they smell. So let's start with the Kraft. Let me smell this. It smells good. Oh, man. I love the smell of Parmesan and Romano, but I can almost think, I think I could almost smell a bit of the cellulose fiber that's in there, which is used to keep it from clumping up. Yeah, I could be smelling that. I don't know. Could just be my imagination. I don't know. So let's smell the Aldi's brand and see if this smells any different. Maybe a little bit more cheese smell in the Aldi's. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to try one more time. Here's the Kraft. Now the Aldi's. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more cheese smell from the Aldi's than I am the Kraft. I find that interesting. So as for right now, the Aldi's actually smells a little bit better than what the Kraft does. So I'm going to taste this. I'm going to taste the Kraft, just get a little bit on a spoon, and just give it a little bit of a taste. So here's the Kraft. Wow. Very rich, very full flavored. That's a very rich cheese flavor. That tastes good. All right, now I'm going to try the Aldi's brand. Get about the same amount, and let's see how this tastes. Wow. Actually tastes a bit sharper. Wow. Now I'm getting even more of the cheese flavor. Yeah, right now, the Aldi's is tasting better than what the Kraft is. Almost like it has maybe less of that cellulose in there. I'm not sure. Yeah, right now, I'm getting a much stronger, a much sharper, a much fuller cheese flavor from the Aldi's brand than I am from the Kraft. I'm surprised by that. I say we try both of these in their natural habitat, and that is, of course, on some spaghetti. So let's get a little bit of the Kraft and kind of sprinkle it on this spaghetti here and see what we got there. And it seems like it sprinkles nice and even, no real big clumps. So let's try to get an equal amount of the Aldi's brand and put on this side. That looks about right. And they really do look identical. I'm seeing smaller clumps in the Aldi's than I am in the Kraft, but that's really no big deal. So this is just a plain simple canned spaghetti, which is very bland. So I'm going to see if this cheese makes a difference in how this spaghetti tastes. So I'm going to start with the Kraft brand and see if that has an improvement on this canned spaghetti here. So let's try the Kraft and see how this is. Pretty good. I'm not getting a whole lot of cheese flavor. The texture is about what you'd expect, but it does improve the taste of that spaghetti. But I'm really kind of surprised I'm not getting a strong flavor. I actually have high hopes for this Aldi's right now. So let's try the Aldi's brand on this plain spaghetti and see if it improves it. and see if there's a difference between the Aldi's brand and the Kraft brand. So here's the Aldi's brand. Actually, I am getting more of a cheese flavor, more of a sharper cheese flavor from the Aldi's brand than I am from the Kraft brand. I'm really surprised. I've got to make sure for two reasons. One for science, and the other just because this is tasting pretty good. So let's try the Kraft brand again on the cheap canned spaghetti, and let's see how this tastes. So here's the Kraft brand. It's good. It actually makes that canned spaghetti taste pretty darn good. All right, let's try the Aldi's brand one more time. Try to get as much of that cheese on there as I can. All right, there we go. So let's try the Aldi's brand one more time. Wow, definitely a fuller cheese flavor. That is really good. This is really a tough decision of which one of these would be my favorite. I don't know, and this is a hard choice to make, but I have made my decision. Both of these are very, very good. I love Parmesan and Romano cheese, and both of these were both high quality, to the point, looking at the packaging and looking at the way these are made and in the ingredients, I'm going to have to say that these are both manufactured in the same factory. I don't know if that's true or not. If you know, let me know. But that's what it seems like to me. These were almost identical, but we do have a winner. To me, it seemed like the Aldi's had a little bit more cheese flavor, had a bit more sharper cheese flavor than what the Kraft did. Maybe there's less fillings. Maybe the blend is a little bit different, but it just seemed like to me that the Aldi's brand had a bit more flavor to it, had a bit sharper cheese flavor to it, which I liked really well. But the thing that I really liked was the price. The Aldi's was much, much cheaper than the Kraft. So in this instance, you know where I'm going. The winner is the Aldi's brand. So that was very, very good. So thank you for watching Food Fights, and please subscribe so we can try it before you buy it. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.